If you have set up enhanced conversion tracking but you are facing needs attention issue with Google Ads, then this video is for you. I have fixed several conversion actions with these problems, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can also fix this problem for your conversion actions. So let's get started. So guys, we're in our Google Ads dashboard, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fix needs attention issue. And for example, as an example, I'm going to show you one account with form submission and it has needs attention issue. If you hover over that, it has enhanced conversion needs attention. And if you go to diagnostics and see that it says some of your conversions are missing user data fields, so click on that and scroll down and see the detailed reason. So it says make sure you're including enhanced conversions fields, email, phone number, and address for your tag setup to capture all web traffic conversions. Also make sure your tag is set up correctly. So it might be this reason, and in your case that might be different reasons. And in this video I'm going to show you how to fix needs attention issue with enhanced conversion tracking. So I have a test Google Ads account, and I have a Google Tag Manager, and I have landing page. So I'm going to show you how to fix that needs attention issue. So we have form submission conversion action, and it is in Google Tag Manager as well. So we can go to tags, and this form submission conversion action is working. So I have checked from preview and debug mode. It is working correctly. So if we go there, so it has trigger and it's firing correctly, but we need to attach user provided data, and we need to do that correctly. And if you do that correctly, you can set up enhanced conversion tracking properly. So let me show you how to do that step by step. So you can go to conversion actions first, and make sure that you can go to settings and go to enhanced conversions. Check this turn on enhanced conversions and select an option, use Google Tag Manager, and save. And that's it from Google Ads part. So go to summary and you can make sure is it working or not. So go to that conversion action, submit lead form, and edit settings and enhanced conversions. It's checked and it's working. So that's it from Google Ads part. And we're gonna go to the Google Tag Manager and we're gonna create our user provided data. For that, we need to go to variables, and I'm going to quickly show you what variables user provided data can include, and that user provided data is going to be attached to your tag which you have created. So we have only form submission and Google Ads form submission, and we need to attach it through this field. So include user provided data, and if you create user provided data variable, that should be somewhere here. So let's create our user provided data. And there are certain fields that are required, and there are certain fields you can add. For example, in our landing page we have name and email, and this is extra custom field, and you don't have to send that custom field, but name and email is required. So go to Google Tag Manager and variable configuration. If you say user provided data, there are name, phone, first name, last name, street, city, region, country, postal code. You need to send those data, and then your enhanced conversions might work. So we need to create those variables first, and we're going to include those variables inside user provided data. So let's create those variables really quickly. We're going to go to new, variable configuration, scroll down, DOM element, and there are two sections, ID and CSS selector, and we're going to include our ID from CSS selector. So we're going to go there and right click on this first field, which is name, and inspect. It is highlighting that field, and right click again and copy the code and find the ID of the CSS selector. So copy CSS selector, go to Google Tag Manager again and paste that ID, and attribute name should be value. Just don't forget to put value, because if you put this field empty, you may send empty data, because I've done this mistake several times. And if you don't put attribute name as value and you don't put anything else here, you may not send any data and you may have some kind of needs attention issue, right? So just put value here and put the variable name. So it was name. We're gonna call it as name and click on save, and new again, and create email variable configuration. Scroll down, find DOM element from ID CSS selector and go to the page and right click again to the email field, inspect, and right click, copy selector, and go to that section and paste whatever we've copied, paste, attribute name value, and name it as email. Save. And after that, we have only two fields, and for this field we don't have custom variable. So we're gonna go to the user provided data and find out what are the other variables we need to include in user provided data. So click on new, variable configuration, scroll down, user provided data. So we have email, we're going to include our email. We have our first name, we're going to include our name. And we don't have anything else. So let's name it as user provided data. If we try to save that, it's not going to save it because other fields are required as well. So let's save it. It's not saving because it says other fields are required. The value must not be empty. Last name we should include. Country and postal code. These three fields are also required. Country, postal code, and last name. So for them, we need to include constant variables because we don't have those fields in our form submission, right? So we need to include constant variables. Constant variables means whatever a user submits, these three fields are also sent. So last name can also be sent as the same word. For example, it can be sent as last name all the time, whatever the user submits. For example, for country, whatever the user submits, the country section can also send USA all the time if we're gonna put constant variables as USA. Whatever the user submits, postal code can send 0000 all the time. So let's create those three fields and we're gonna include them in the user provided data. So exit out of that, click on new, variable configuration, scroll down, constant, and value. We're gonna start with country, USA, and we're gonna call it constant variable as country. And save it. New again, variable configuration, scroll down, constant, and value should be zip code. So that should be 0000. Name, postal code. Click on save. And after that, click on new, variable configuration, constant, and we need to include last name variable. So for last name, let's say last name. And the name of the variable is going to be last name as well. So click on save. That's it. We have created all the required fields as well as our own fields as well. So after that, click on new, variable configuration, scroll down and find user provided data. Click on that and attach the variables we have created. So for email, we're going to click on email. For first name, include the first name. For last name, we've created last name constant variable. So click on that. And for country, we had a country constant variable. Click on that. And for postal code, we had a postal code constant variable. That's it. All the required and our own fields are included. And let's name it as user provided data. And after that, click on save. That's it. So we're going to go to the tag section and go to that conversion action. Click on that and include that user provided data we have created. So click on include user provided data from your website and scroll down and find that user provided data. That's it. We have attached the user provided data and click on save. And let's check whether we are actually sending the user provided data and enhanced conversions are really working. So let's go to preview mode. And our page already included and click on connect. So it is a test page and the form submission is under tags not fired yet. So once we do a test form submission, it should be under tags fired and it should be sending the data. So go to that and let's quickly send a test form submission. So we're going to submit the form and it should be under tags fired. So click on that. Let's check that now. As you can see, it is under tags fired now. And if you're going to click on that, click on 8 form submit or whatever you see, it is firing triggers form submission and click on show more. CSS provided enhanced conversions value user provided data, so it is included. And if you exit out of that and go to the variables section and scroll to the bottom of the page, you should see user provided data. As you can see, user provided data, and it's sending our test email and it's sending the test first name, our own fields. And after that, 3 constant variables: last name, the country USA, and postal code 00000. So we are sending our user provided data and our enhanced conversions are working. So you can go to the tag manager and click on submit and publish the changes. That's it. That's how you're gonna fix needs attention issue with your enhanced conversion tracking. After you've made those changes, you need to give it like 7 to 10 days for its status to change from needs attention to other active or other kind of statuses. So that's how you're gonna fix that. If you guys have found some value from this video, please like and subscribe. And if you need any help to scale your business with Google Ads, you can let me know by visiting my website, and see you guys in my other videos.